Welcome to episode 22 of the Fitasylum podcast. Today we're joined by Soph and just having a brief chat off camera, off mic. Sounds very inspirational, so this should be a really good one, guys. I hope you enjoy. And Soph, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thank you. I'm happy to be here.
So when did your first interaction with fitness occur? Obviously, your sister is on the course with us. She's doing amazing. She's going to be an amazing coach. And she told me a little bit about yourself. Tell us about your fitness journey.
So I'd say I've always been into my fitness, but it started off when I was actually in school. I was constantly doing sports. I was in the gym, but I never actually knew what I loved until I look back and realised it was always cardio. I'm a cardio girl. It started off then, and then I'd say when I actually started finding it as a discipline in my life, it was doing dance at uni. So I went to university in Manchester at Shockout Arts, which is one of the most disciplined. It's savage, but it's good, in a good way, way. And we used to do Insanity every morning, 10-hour days, and I realised the extent you can push your body and what you get from that. And I'm an adrenaline person, so
junkie.
Yeah, adrenaline junkie basically. That's where it started. And then I was the year of COVID. So the year of COVID was actually the year I was supposed to graduate. So all this training, the rehearsals, everything was just, well, everyone knows the world was literally on pause.
Yeah, it just stopped.
And then all our classes were on Zoom. So I was doing burpees in my garden, in my living room. My mum was like, what is this? I was like, you have no idea. Like, uni is 10 times worse. That's where it started. And then from that, I just become obsessed with finding time between, you devote all your time to uni, and then it's given back to you, and it's like you've got all this time to fill. So I just became a fitness crazy adrenaline junkie in my garden.
So what does your fitness routine look like now, and do you have a routine?
Yeah, so I go to circuit training. I was in and out of gyms, but I realised that it is circuit training that I am obsessed with, and I love, and people think I'm crazy, but I love pushing my body to the max, to where it can physically get to.
Nice, I like it.
I know, people are like, weirdo, like, go and have a beer. So I go to S23, which is, circuit training in Warrington and Newton Lee Willows. And it's basically, you can be a 9 till 5, 3 dogs, 0 training, and go and push your body to how much you can push to. Or you can be training in the gym 10 times a week and go and push your body.
So it caters for a wide variety.
It caters for everyone.
Needs.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. And so then how often do you do that a week,
So currently 3 times a week.
Nice.
But I do doubles.
Oh, wow.
So at first it used to scare the living daylights out of me.
What's a double then? I presume a double session.
A double session. So you do an hour, and it's obviously circuit. So it's strength and conditioning. You've got lots of cardio. I don't even know what you call it, but when you hit the tyre with the...
Yeah.
You feel like a 7 dwarf from Snow White. So you do that.
So it's quite fun. Is that what makes you
fun.
kind of love going there? Is it the fun, different kind of... Oh, the people, the community.
People and the music. So I'm a dancer, so they play like DJ house, like music, and they've got LEDs, and you feel like you're in a club, but you're doing burpees, sweating your back off. So, yeah.
But that environment is something you really enjoy.
Love, yeah.
And do you still do your dancing?
Yeah, still
How
doing my
often
dancing.
do you do your dancing?
So I teach twice a week.
Nice.
And then I do gigs. So dance in Liverpool. I've done like festivals.
Wow.
Yeah, I did a music video, which actually I can say now because, but he's Manchester based. He's quite what's the word?
Up and coming.
Yeah. He's up and coming, but he's so talented. So I did his music video the other week, which was fun.
Wow. When does that come out? Do you know?
It's just come out 3 days ago.
Nice.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll link that in the podcast notes as well, so you can see Soph dancing. So you've got quite a full-on life at the moment, and then you've obviously got your own businesses. Tell us a little bit about your businesses, why you started them, how they started, all that sort of stuff.
So Juice Hub is a business that I started in lockdown. So actually looking back, I never thought in a million years I would own a juice business. But when obviously I was saying I had more time, like lockdown was the fitness industry went crazy, didn't it? But for me, it was already there. It just went from 0 to 100. And I started putting on my social media smoothies, like I was obsessed with smoothies, but I was putting petit filou because my mum would buy it in for my nieces and nephews. I was putting all this random stuff like spinach, and then from that I got interested in superfoods and like, okay, so what am I putting in these smoothies? Putting them on, I'm big on social media, so putting them on, like when I say big, I'm not famous. I mean, like I just love social media. And I started putting them on my stories, and then it was friends, it was like family, like what are these random smoothies on your stories? And from people asking me, like, what are you putting in these? It made me look at the gap in the market, and I thought, right, well, I'm coming for you. And then
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So is this 2020?
This
or 2021?
2020? No, 2021. Nice. 2021, yeah.
So 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
2 years ago.
That's amazing.
God, when you say that, that's scary.
It is, isn't it?
I didn't realise it'd been that like long.
And so you've got your own little juice business, which is amazing. And then what else have you got? So
I have a unisex streetwear brand. To be fair, I started as unisex, but then I started with nothing. Like, I can proudly say I had no help from anyone. It was all my own research, and then realised that, yes, right then there was a gap in the market for unisex streetwear, and now it's everyone, to be fair, it's quite big. It's quite big. But I started that year before Juice Hub, so 2020.
Wow.
And from that, I realised that I'm limiting myself a little bit, so I started going into, like, producing more clothes for not just unisex, but cute little bralettes and like sporty things. But yeah, that was my little baby, to be fair.
That's awesome. And are you really passionate about fashion?
Oh yeah. Like, if I don't have my outfit the night before, I've got anxiety the next day.
We talked off camera, you do a little bit of modelling as well. And
yeah.
So you're quite a busy person, but a lot of it is around like the creative performing arts side of stuff. Would you agree?
Yeah, 100%. So I'm definitely not your academic gal. Well, I try to be, but I'm definitely more creative.
So how did you finish uni and everything?
Yeah, so luckily, when I was saying, like, obviously the world got put on pause, we had like rehearsals to like 10 at night and Insanity with Jamie, and it was all going off. And then we basically did all our lessons on Zoom. So we had rehearsals, and I was literally using a kitchen chair as a bar for ballet in the living room.
Wow.
And I was thinking, so what is going to happen? Like, what do you do? What, we're just going to perform in my living room to my mum? And then, from that, 2 years later, actually, a year and a half later, obviously everything was opening back up. And my principal, Sue, she's amazing. She loved our year. Well, she loves the university in general. She basically brought us all back. So the performance we were supposed to do in London, and we were rehearsing like mad hours for, we actually got to come back 2 years later and do that performance we'd been rehearsing for.
Wow. Did that feel really special?
Like, a feeling you can't explain. Like,
Nice.
all that training, people look at you and they go, oh, she's smashing it, but they don't actually see
the end product,
what you've actually had to mentally and physically put into it. So that feeling on the stage and the noise when everyone's screaming, it's...
And what sort of dance would you say you do? Would you be able to...
Commercial.
Quantify it?
Yeah, commercial dance.
Commercial dance.
I love a jazz hand, you know. But definitely not a ballerina.
Definitely not ballet.
No, definitely not a ballerina. I try to be.
Yeah.
I try to be.
A lot of people start there, though, don't they? And then move down like the contemporary route. And
Oh, well, I was on catch-up mode. So I got put in a top set when I got put in university. And I only did a bit of ballet. So I was with these prima ballerinas. And the head of year actually said to me, like, you can do this. Like, you've just got to put everything in. And my Mr. Needham, who's, like, very well-known in the dance industry, like, I love him, he's amazing. He actually said to me after the 3 years, like, I'm proud of you. And it honestly, like, things like that, yeah.
That's awesome. So that leads me on to my next question. Why do you want to be a personal trainer? You've got a lot going on at the moment. Obviously, you feel like you can impact the industry and you've got something to offer. Is it within that kind of dance space you're already in, or have you got another idea that you kind of feel like you could add to your entrepreneurial business?
So I definitely say that obviously with Juice Hub especially, I will be introducing more smoothie bowls, and I want a wellness hub, and this is all big future. You know, we've got to think of the present, but it's future ideas. But I just enjoy, like, even my fitness journey, going from doing gym when I was younger and then going to dance uni and realising how much you can literally put everything and create disciplines into your lifestyle. And then when you see the difference, it's like, let's keep going. So I love the fact that I can share my knowledge and experience and help other people and basically say to them, like, it's literally not just your physical. It doesn't matter how many steps you can walk down the street or how much you can lift. Like, if you've not got the discipline in your head or you've not got them principles.
And you think that's really important for people in general?
Yeah.
To build those. I completely agree. Like, I brought up with, like, playing sport, and there was a lot of discipline. So, you know, if you overstep the mark, you know, you might be kicked off the team or something like that, where it was really important to be part of that team. And also, if you didn't, like, set certain standards, like, you'd have to come to training. If you were late, you wouldn't be able to train. If you didn't turn up to matches in a certain outfit, like whether it be a pre-game outfit, you wouldn't be able to play. Those little disciplines kind of help you in later life. Would you agree?
Yeah, 100%.
So that's really interesting, though, that you want to kind of build a fitness business and a hub around discipline, but also kind of build it into what you already have, which is amazing. I can already see it, like you running fitness retreats with, like, your juices, your little, like, maybe like smoothie bowls, as well as, like, you know, you come and get some clothing and they can win some clothing on these little getaways. I can see this being a really
Thanks
awesome
for
business.
giving me that idea, because
I've ran getaways in the past, you see, like fitness getaways, in Italy
amazing.
and stuff like that. So
wow.
we've done a lot in the industry, so that's amazing. But you're coming on to one of our courses soon, so that'll be amazing. What kind of, like, advice would you give young entrepreneurs like yourself who are setting up their own businesses? Because a lot of our PTs will go on to be self-employed, including your sister. So, like, what kind of advice would you give future young entrepreneurs?
I'd say one of the most important things, especially I've learned, I'm only 24, I've still got loads to learn, but you've got to put yourself in uncomfortable positions sometimes to get the best out of yourself. A lot of people fear jumping out of comfortability. A lot of people are so comfortable, and I'd say more for young people, especially between, if you're becoming self-employed, this is my sister as well, like she has big aspirations and big dreams, and I would aspire to be like her as well, like as much as
we're going to get Amy on a podcast and you will all be inspired by her. I can guarantee it.
Yeah, be ready, because well, she poos on this, doesn't she? She's amazing. But yeah, what were we talking about? I'm talking about Amy now. Yeah,
sorry, that was my interjection.
Young people.
Yes, young entrepreneurs.
So I'd probably say that, be true to yourself as well. So uncomfortable situations, like you might fear something, or you might think, what's going to happen if I do this? And you think your gremlin in your head will tell you the worst thing.
It's funny you say that. Like, a lot of people think it's really easy to run certain businesses, and I think until you've had a business, you don't realise how tough it is.
No.
And I've had a few different businesses, and I have so much respect for everyone who starts up a business, who's running a business, or has run a successful, well-established business, because the amount of graft, work, effort, time, commitment, sacrifices is just untold, unseen, just unreal, really. But what are you excited about for 2023 with your businesses, with you know, obviously coming on to do a PT course with us? What are you excited about, Soph?
Growth.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I'm excited about growth. I think as well, because you've got one life, like, it might sound, you know, a little bit cliche, but I genuinely live off that. You have one life. Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
If you're unhappy in your 9-to-5 job, but your fear is, how am I going to afford this, or how am I going to do this?
Change.
If you never change, you're always going to be stuck. So I'm excited for growth.
Is this you coming out of your comfort zone, going on to a PT course?
Yes. Especially because obviously I do weight train, but I feel like I'm a perfectionist and I want to be, it's a toxic trait in a way because you want to be so good at everything so fast. So I feel like me being a hit gal and a circuit training gal, I've got a lot to learn with my sisters lifting like 10 times what I can lift. So it's like good to have that as well in your family. Like
good inspirations, good different kind of like methodologies, and everyone doesn't have to do the same route. You can have different routes and it all come together. Your sister might even jump in and help you with your businesses, etc., etc. So no, I love that little synergy there with your sister.
Love you really.
What's one tip you'd give anyone who is currently in education? So they're in education, they might be at uni, college, school, doing a course. What would you give them? One tip. We ask every guest.
One tip, I would say, be true to yourself.
Be true to yourself?
Yeah, be true to yourself, because you want things to make sense, especially when you're young and in education. You won't be comfortable. You'll be thinking, am I doing the right thing? You question yourself constantly. But just know that even these people who look like they've got the S together, don't know if I'm allowed to swear, they haven't. No one's got it together. So just be true to yourself and just keep floating with life and enjoy it.
Nice. And then one tip for professionals.
Oh.
So professionals, it could be PTs, it could be someone like your dad who's, got a really professional job. It could be, lots of other avenues and businesses. One tip. Would it be about getting out of the comfort zone?
Yes,
or
but then
embracing the uncomfort zone?
I'd say yes, but more for people in education. I'd say for, especially if we're talking about professional, like old, Dad, you're not old, but people who are a bit older, I'd probably say be present.
Present. It could be any professional. So it could be someone who's just started out as a PT. Or
anyone.
Any professional.
Be present.
I like it.
Be present, because the future is not what you might think. So just be present.
Nice. I like that. Especially that's something COVID has taught us. Yeah. Soph, you've been amazing. Will you shout out your socials?
Yes, so it is at Soph Roberts XXX, and then Juice Hub is _ the Juice Hub, and then Altered Image is Altered Image Official. There might be an underscore in there. There's a lot to remember. Yeah,
you got 3 social media accounts.
Yeah.
And any tips for anyone who using social media like yourself?
Oh, any tips?
Just one. Give me one tip. What do you do really well on social media that sets you aside from other people, do you think?
Be real.
Be real? I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just be yourself. Have a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. Soph, you've been amazing. Thank you very much for jumping on the podcast. I hope you've enjoyed it.
Oh, I've had a great time. I love talking. Could be here all day.
As the producer looks at me with dismay. Thank you very much, Soph. Hope you've enjoyed this, guys. And if you have, leave us a rating, drop us a comment, and go and follow Soph.
Woo! Thank you.